All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am back with another live training session. Today is a special day. I actually have the first time ever somebody that's from my community that's going to come on and get a training from me. This is Camille Elizaga. Camille, say what's up.
Hello.
Camille has recently booked a couple of jobs. So before we get into the whole training and everything, just a lot of the viewers of this channel are brand new VOs on their journey to book their first job. So tell us a little bit about where your interest in voiceover came from, what you tried that worked, what didn't work, what your journey was like up until now, where you're like a booking machine.
So basically, back in the Philippines, we have these things called like declamation competitions. So where we memorize monologues and then we perform it in front of like a bunch of judges, and then we compete with other students. So for a few years, I was doing that like kind of stuff.
It's like America's Got Talent. Is it like a Simon Cowell and like somebody's like
no.
thumbs down, thumbs up kind of thing? Like the
within the school.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, so basically I got into that kind of stuff because my teacher recommended me to join one. And I was like, well, I'm a very shy girl. I don't think I can project my voice that well. And I don't think I have a good voice. So I don't know if I should be doing this. And then she was like, there's something in you. Okay. Like, just trust me, give it a shot. And lo and behold, I won first place for these competitions. No professional training or anything.
Wow. Do a lot of people actually get like professional training for it and stuff?
Not really. I mean, they can get like voiceover coaches, like coaches as well, but not voiceover coaches. But yeah, so I had my mom and she was a coach. She's never done any of these like monologue practices either. So it's also her first time teaching anyone anything related to acting. And then fast forward to like high school, elementary school, I also joined some forensic competitions, and also like plays and musicals. So no professional training whatsoever, but I do know that it did help somewhat with voiceover stuff. And fast forward after college, basically throughout my whole life, I thought I was going to do medical field.
Really?
For a very long time, especially if you're in an Asian household. I'm Filipino, so, we do the nursing stuff
Really?
by default. Yeah. But I was like, you know what? I feel like there's just something missing. Like, I wasn't really completely happy with nursing. So I jumped to another medical field and then another. And then after I graduated in this one program, I was still like very unhappy about where I was. And then I was like, maybe I need to take a minute to just kind of step back and figure out what I want to do with my life, right?
Yeah.
And I looked back to the times where I was doing declamation and stuff. Okay, it was like, I love acting, but I don't want to be on stage. I also don't want to be on TV. And I don't really have a lot of money, so I need to budget my time. And my money as well. So I was like, what can I do? Well, I love anime. I've done some plays and stuff like that. Maybe I should look into voice acting. And I was like, this sounds pretty good. I searched up some Filipino voiceover artists and I found Inka Magnay. And she's one of like the most popular voiceover artists in the Philippines right now. And I was like, I want to be that. So then I started searching on YouTube. YouTube University is really great.
Of course.
And then I found Jessie. And then I've watched a lot of voiceover coaches on YouTube. And there's just something about Jessie that kind of just like resonates with you. Like I think that's like for a lot of students, you just resonate with different people. And Jesse was just like very genuine about the things that he was saying. You can tell that he really started from the bottom to the top, and now we're here. So I was like, I joined his community, which is great, by the way. You should sign up for it. So many benefits.
Oh my God.
And
people are going to think I'm paying you.
No, he's not paying me. But it's just like, after like joining the community, that's like when I really got motivated to do so much like voiceover related stuff. Like I was motivated to audition. I was motivated to set up my studio. And when you're surrounded with people, like-minded people that also want to have the same, want to reach the same goal as you, like you really do end up going for it. Like really just going I don't know, my English is really bad, like terrible today. But
You're doing great. You're doing great.
You really just go for it. And I'm probably yapping so much.
No. It's all good. This is great.
Okay.
Like, I find the same too. Like when you're hanging out with like-minded people, like, you find yourself kind of going along the same path. You know what I mean? Like, it's also like, what do they say in business? It's like, show me 3 of your friends and I'll show you what your income is. Cause basically like, you are the people that you hang out with. But anyway, I don't want to turn this into like a thing to promote the community here. But it's great. And you're doing great in it, by the way. But from the time that you wanted to, like you saw, what was the name of the Filipino voiceover actor again?
Inka.
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 Inka. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be like her and then you just found me on YouTube right away. Like I was the first one that you came across.
Yeah. Like actually one of like it was actually recommended to me by YouTube. So
Oh
when
God.
you're watching something and then on the side, like recommended for you.
The universe. Okay. So what was the timeline like from the time that you decided voiceover to the time that you decided you want to be like Inka, then you found me and then you booked your first job? Like, was it like a month? Was it like a year? Like what was the time frame?
So last year, November 2023, I was like looking at Udemy for courses, but nothing really like hit me like, oh, this is going to be like a really good course for me to start on. So I decided to start on YouTube. And whenever I get into these new hobbies, I end up obsessively researching first before I get into it. So I searched for like voiceover coaches. I looked for different microphones, audio interfaces, all of that stuff. And then, this was around like December, January where I found you.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay. And then he's promoting a community. And I was like, maybe I should give it a shot. So
you were one of the first. You're one of the originals.
Yeah.
Original 50.
OG. And on February, I decided to join Jesse's community. And then I started joining voices.com on March. And 3 weeks later, after that, I booked my first job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've got 2 and maybe almost a third, but I don't want to blow it for you. So
yeah. We'll see. Cross fingers.
Cool. So, honestly, like I think there's a lot more to come for you. You've been putting in a lot of hard work. You've got an excellent voice and your personality really comes through in it. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it. So are you ready to go?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's jump into the Gatorade one. This is a Gatorade commercial from the Philippines. Do you want to set it up at all? Because you actually sent this one to me.
So basically it's literally just like a typical sports brand and very energetic, but conversational at the same time. And also in the Philippines, they have a tendency to be a little loud, like in your face, but like just an excited, extroverted friend would be. So, and I kind of have a hard time doing that kind of stuff. So
yeah, no, this is great. This is great because the other one we did is like complete opposite of this. So before we do a data run here, let's take out of the equation the whole being loud and in your face because that's not something like, that's not something that's going to engage anyone. That like pushes people away. You know what I mean? And I understand that that's a style that maybe is popular right now in the Philippines. Styles everywhere in voiceover change all the time, but I'm really into communication, not talking at people. So we're going to switch that from being in your face to being communicative, and we can still put the energy behind it. And I'll show you how. But let's do a data read first so we get our mouths around it. I know you know it a bit, but don't worry about the performance yet. Let's go top to bottom, and then we'll start working it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired. So rehydrate with Gatorade no sugar. All the electrolytes of Gatorade with no sugar or calories for hydration that helps you be at your best. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Okay, great. So first things first, Gatorade. What do we know about Gatorade?
High energetic. Gives you a lot of pump.
Totally. So like when do you usually have Gatorade? When do they like try to sell? Like what's going on? Like why would you be like, oh my God, I need a Gatorade right now?
When you're doing some kind of physical activity.
Yeah, like hardcore, right? Like you sweat a bunch, you got to get the electrolytes back in you. We know that this brand probably plays some like intense, like high energy music. So we really want to capture that essence as well. Do you do any like kind of workouts yourself? Do you do anything that's high intensity? What do you do?
Just like weightlifting. Really?
Weightlifting? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Do they blast any music at your gym at all?
I blast it in my ear.
You do? Does it make a big difference? Do you find like...
Yeah.
What do you listen to?
Lots of K-pop, lots of trap
K-pop?
remixes.
Trap
Yeah.
remix? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go with okay, so let's do like is there a K-pop trap remix? Is there such thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Hmm.
so picture like get it like a song in your head that's a K-pop trap remix that you work out to. Now this is playing in the background. So I want you to give me some attitude with this too. So like not just you sweat, like you sweat. You know what I mean? Put some attitude into it. And just go from when you sweat down to leave you feeling tired. Just the first two lines, okay?
Okay.
Give me some energy, some attitude, but that doesn't mean to like get real loud either. You can do it like at a normal volume, although I do think it needs to be a little bit more. I don't want to say project. Well, let's see where you're at.
Okay. All right, here we go. When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired.
Okay, good. Let's take because at the beginning there, you almost put like a question mark,
Right.
and that took a little bit away from the attitude. I
Okay.
want it to be like a definitive statement, like Gatorade. You sweat, you lose more than water. You know what I mean? Come into a little bit of attitude, a little bit stronger. Don't worry about the question mark in there. Just land that plane. You sweat, like a
Okay.
statement, okay? And speed it up a little bit.
Gotcha. When you sweat, oh god. Hold on.
That's
When you sweat, okay. I'm gonna have a hard time with that.
that word you, emphasize it.
Oh, okay. When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired.
That was very good. That was exactly what I was looking for. You take
Okay.
direction well. Good
you.
job. Okay. Now we want to make it a little bit more poppy. Turn the K-pop up a little bit, turn the trap down a little bit. Great attitude, maybe a little bit too much attitude. Let's turn up the energy a little bit. Okay? Just on those first two lines, then we'll get into the rest of it. Oh no, what happened? Is somebody calling you?
I caught my camera. Oh, good thing I didn't start. You can just cut it out.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
I'm leaving it in there. That was a beautiful family.
It's my cousins.
Is it? Okay, great.
Yeah, it's my cousins. Yep. Okay. Turn up the K-pop.
Yeah.
When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired.
Yeah, very good. Very good. I like it. Let's add a little bit of a smile now. We're getting there. We're almost there. Then we're going to do the whole thing. Okay, ready?
Okay. When you sweat, oh, hold on.
No, that was not bad. That was I gave you that direction once, but just go with it. Wait till I give you the direction afterwards because you might do something brilliant.
Okay. When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired.
Good. Man, you got a great voice. Okay, so now we're going to go through the rest of it. Keep that energy up. You have a tendency at the end of the line to kind of do an upglide. So instead of saying you lose more than water, you're saying you lose more than water, which is okay in some circumstances, but you do that quite a bit. So try to land the plane a little bit more, but don't force yourself into doing something that feels unnatural either.
Okay.
You okay with those conflicting directions?
I will give it a shot.
Okay.
Okay. When you sweat, hold on. Here we go.
You got this.
When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired.
Keep going.
So rehydrate with
That was
So
great. No, that was good. Just the way you said it. Like you didn't perform it. You just said it and you second guessed yourself. That's exactly what we were looking for. That had energy, it had attitude, and it was conversational. So rehydrate. You're just telling somebody, you know what I mean? Like just do it. Just do it with Gatorade. It's simple. It's easy.
So go back to rehydrate?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So rehydrate with Gatorade no sugar. All the electrolytes of Gatorade with no sugar or calories for hydration that helps you be at your best. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Good. Now really with that fuels you forward, give me some real attitude on that line.
Okay. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Maybe put emphasis on forward.
Oh,
Let's hear that.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Yeah, I like that. But wait, actually, let's put a shrug on it. You know what I mean by the shrug? Yeah.
Shrug. Okay.
Yeah, fuels you forward.
Okay. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Yeah, now we're cooking. Okay. Now let's take all those directions I did and do the whole thing. And don't miss. No, I'm just kidding. Just take all the directions I gave you, throw them away. Get a sense of that music. Like feel the beat. You've seen some of the live directed sessions that I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I post them in the community. And what am I doing between takes when it's a high energy thing?
What
Do you remember? Have you seen me?
I have.
When I do the high energy ones, I dance. Like I dance.
Oh
in the
yeah,
booth.
you do this.
There's no music.
Yeah.
I move. I'm trying to keep my energy up. I have music in my head that's going because it helps inform how the read's going to come out. So it's really, really, really important if you're going to do a read where we already know what we've seen the spot. We know what the music sounds like. We know there's a lot of camera pans and swooshes and people like camera zooming in and sweat pouring off their body and all that.
Right.
Like it's intense, right? So we know that. So we got a sense of that in our head and then just give me the whole thing.
Okay.
You're cool as shit and you work out all the time. Someone's coming to you for advice about Gatorade and you're going to solve their problem. You're going to be like, yo, check this out. It's super simple. Just use Gatorade. Give it to me.
Okay. When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired. So rehydrate with Gatorade No Sugar. All the electrolytes of Gatorade with no sugar or calories for hydration that helps you be at your best. Gatorade fuels you forward.
That was excellent. Very, very good. Well done. Okay, just for the sake of it, because I mean, this is not difficult for you. You got this. Can you give me a version where, let's say you got hired for the Philippines and they're like, listen, we like your American style, but we want you to do it Filipino style. Can you give that?
I'll give it a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta turn my Filipino on. When you sweat, you lose more than water. You lose fluids and electrolytes that could leave you feeling tired. So rehydrate with Gatorade No Sugar. All the electrolytes of Gatorade with no sugar or calories for hydration that helps you be at your best. Gatorade fuels you forward.
Very good. I like it. You know, it was a good balance between like announcery and still like being conversational. I think you did a good job of it. Great. So let's do one now that's way harder.
Oh God. Bring it on, Coach.
Are you ready for this? So I was actually just coaching someone on this exact script. I've actually given this script out a few times. This is kind of like becoming the Visine script. We haven't worked on the Visine script, have we? That's the first one I give when people are in like my full coaching program. The first one we work on is the Visine script because it looks super simple, but it's really, really complicated. This seems to be like one that's kind of emerging like that where, well, let's just get into it. I don't want to spoil the surprise. Okay. So now we don't have trap music and K-pop going on. Quite the opposite. What we're talking about here is people's lives being destroyed. I know that's a sharp turn from what we were doing and sweating and Gatorade and all that kind of stuff. But this is a real thing. So like, you know, you've got to feel all the emotions, but you don't get to cry. You've got to break the audience because if they cry, they're going to open up their wallets and they're going to give money to the Red Cross. And the Red Cross is going to save people's lives. So literally with this voiceover copy, your mission is to save someone's life, which is very real. Like you will save someone's life if you do this effectively. Voiceover, there's like a huge responsibility in it if you get a job like this.
Right.
So let's do a data read from top to bottom. And it's super conversational. Don't worry about the performance right now. Let's just do a data read from top to bottom and get into it.
Okay. Let me just fix my position.
Yeah. You know, that helps a lot. Like I find in voiceover, you know, if I'm trying to do something that's a little bit aggressive, like when I do Backroad Truckers and I'm like kind of putting on a voice and all that, like I stand like I'm like ready to attack the microphone.
Right.
And when I'm doing something that's laid back and chill, like I do this with my body. Like when I was doing the stoner read for Hoop Tea recently, I was just like this the whole time. So like, you know, that's great that you're doing that for this.
Okay. You don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. It's just a blanket after all. But when everything else has been lost, the comfort it provides is immeasurable. The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need. Every 8 minutes every day. So this season, give something that means something. Support us at redcross.org.
Great. So, personal question, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. You ever lost everything?
Yeah, I would say so.
Sucks, right? A lot of despair
Yeah.
and all that. Does it mean a lot to you to be able to help other people that maybe have gone through similar experiences as you have?
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the reason why I went to the medical field, actually.
Really?
Mm.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry now.
I actually named my dog Healer because I wanted everyone that he meets to be healed whenever he meets them.
Oh
So,
my God, you're
yeah,
such a good person.
I try to be.
Okay, this is perfect for you. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your time with this. You can get a little bit closer to your microphone, but make sure you take your volume down and really speak from the heart. You're not reading words on the page. These words are coming off the top of your head. You're looking at them to pick them up off the page, and you don't have to take your eyes off the page, but really like know what each line means. So take your time. Don't just race through it going, you don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. Sure, when the final product is done, maybe you won't have much of a space between lines, but even if there is, even if you're doing it live, you could take as much space as you want between lines and they'll cut that out in the edit. And I promise you, they'll tell you to take your time with this. So let's just do from you don't think much about it down to it's just a blanket after all and speak from the heart. Okay.
Hey, you don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. It's just a blanket after all.
Excellent. Very good. Okay. Sorry. Focus. Let's get into this. Continue on the second line. I don't want to give you direction because what you're doing is great right now. Okay. Keep speaking from the heart. Just go through the whole thing.
But when everything else has been lost, the comfort it provides is immeasurable. The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need, every 8 minutes, every day. So this season, give something that means something. Support us at redcross.org.
Great. Very, very good. There was so much good stuff in there. Now, the direction I'm going to give you this time is when you get to the American Red Cross, that's the silver lining. That's the silver lining of the whole thing. We can't just be, emotional. And like, I loved how deep you were going inside you, but we got to come back up for air and show people the silver lining.
Gotcha.
Doom and gloom, silver lining, and you can help. It ends positively. Support the redcross.org.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So as soon as you hit American Red Cross, let's bring up the silver lining. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. So give me the whole thing again.
So like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel kind of deal?
Exactly. You're bringing hope. Warm it up. Put a smile into your read at that point because the American Red Cross can help.
Gotcha.
Right? And that's what's going to make people dive into their wallets and give money to the Red Cross. Your voice.
You don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. It's just a blanket after all. But when everything else has been lost, the comfort it provides is immeasurable. The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need, every 8 minutes, every day. So this season, give something that means something. Support us at redcross.org.
Great. Good job. Good job. Let's do a little technical thing. That was really good. Really good.
Okay.
When you get to this season, I want you to put like almost like a question mark, like an upglide. Yeah, an upglide on that. So this season, give something that means something, just the way you did, but just put an upglide on this season. And when you get to it's just a blanket after all, really take your time on that line. Emphasize just and blanket.
Okay. You don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. It's just a blanket after all. But when everything else has been lost, the comfort it provides is immeasurable. The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need, every 8 minutes, every day. So this season, give something that means something. Support us at redcross.org.
Excellent. Very, very, very good. Now, I know there's a little bit of stumble.
Yeah.
Let's do it one more time. When you get to the part where the American Red Cross, you're almost you're getting a little announcery on it. Just put a smile on your face. You're kind of like coming up with the voice. You know how Dave Beeson always talks about the voice that's driving in the back of your head. Hey, Dave, if you're watching this,
Hey, Dave.
I quote you all the time, buddy.
You're great.
Book. Yeah, just, put a smile on your voice, like just the American Red Cross,
Like, hey, this is a great thing.
The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need, not the American Red Cross. we don't need any of that. But other than that, it was fantastic. Okay. So same thing, smooth it out. No announcery on the American Red Cross.
Okay. You don't think much about it. You never dwell on how it was made. It's just a blanket after all. But when everything else has been lost, the comfort it provides is immeasurable. The American Red Cross brings hope and help to people in need. Every 8 minutes, every day. So this season, give something that means something. Support us at redcross.org.
Absolutely excellent. Very, very well done, Camille.
Thank you.
Good job. How do you feel? That's it. You survived. You made it.
I was a little nervous with this. So this season, I was like, was that an up glide that I did? I was just like kind of going like on autopilot mode. I was like, we're just going to see how it works. We're just going to go with it.
Like whenever I give notes and stuff like that, sometimes it's just to kind of help you break you out of like maybe a repetitive action that you're doing over and over and over. It doesn't mean don't ever do it. I just want to try and drive you in a different direction, because when you do get into a live directed session and you're working with a director, even if what you did was fantastic and they're like, you nailed it, they'll ask you to do it the opposite way on certain words and lines so they have variety. So you need to be able to do that if you can. That's why I like to throw a wrench in people's tires. When everything's going well, I'm like, great job. Now let's do it this way. And I'm like, haha, I tripped you up. Let's work on that. Because when you get into a directed session, it's okay to trip up, but you got to know how to bounce back from it. I make mistakes all the time, but you went with it. Like you did a really good job. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you. And I think that's what's really great about your coaching is that you know how to balance like criticism and also complimenting. Because when you over compliment, sometimes obviously it's like the student that never grows. But then when you over criticize, then they end up overthinking and being afraid to learn more.
100%. Yeah.
Jesse's great.
Thank you. It's voiceover. It's like, it's all about growing. And if you're afraid to make mistakes in voiceover, it's going to be hard for you to grow because you're not going to take any risks. And when you start putting more and more of your personality into the reads, that's when you're really risking. And that's where sometimes you're going to bomb and you're going to fail and you're going to read it wrong sometimes. But every now and then you're going to do something that's so unique that only you could have done. And that's when you book those huge campaigns and they can't use anybody else because you're the product, you're the person.
Right.
You put your whole life and personality and the history that you've had and the life that you've lived into it. I could hear a lot of it in this Red Cross blanket, the stuff that you've been through in this read. And it was great. You brought a lot of hope to it. So you could have booked it.
Thank you.
If this was a real audition.
If it was, dang it.
Anyway, thank you so much. Camille, tell us where we can find you if people want to follow you, because Camille is actually a streamer as well.
Right. You can find me at youtube.com/meal. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or X, as they call it nowadays, it's twitter.com/mealchirps, like the bird. Chirp.
That was all. You said that so fluidly. That was great. You've definitely told people where they can find you before.
Yeah, I have.
All right, everybody, that is the end of today's live coaching session. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're interested in joining my community, the links are in the description below. And I'm also giving away a full coaching program, my full 6 week voiceover jumpstart program, which has 4 live sessions with me and a lifetime membership to the community on June 1st. All you got to do to enter is be part of the community. Other than that, I'm Jesse. This is Camille. We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye.
All right. Now I just got to hold on.
And stream.
Yeah. And stream.
And stream.
It's so funny. Sometimes I leave this stuff in. I might this time here we go. Stop and wait for it to stop uploading.